Okay, so I don't know if you could see this, but right behind my head here is that ductwork. You can see it right here. I'm kind of looking at my phone so I can see what my camera's seeing. But, so that's that ductwork. I'm going to extend it. But if you notice there, the crimping kind of goes the wrong way. So to fix that, you know, you got to figure ductwork is made to blow air, not to suck air. So all the crimps on all the fittings and stuff, they go the wrong way. Now, I don't think it really matters, you know, once in a while, but you want to try to keep the main runs of the ductwork consistent so that you have better airflow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the crimps off of this. So basically this will be a double-sided, it'll be straight on both sides, no crimps. So I'll cut this crimping off, and then the next piece will slide right into this one. I'll slide this over that fitting, just because it's kind of tough to, I can crimp this more and try and mash it into that one, but you're kind of restricting the whole opening then. And trying to straighten them back out, maybe there's a way to do it. I don't have the tools to do it, so I'm not even going to attempt it. So I just cut the crimping off, I'll slide this over, and then it'll leave a nice clean edge on the opposite side, so I could start sliding the other 2-foot sections of ductwork right into it. So that's going to be my next move. I'll cut this off, and I'll start getting this going up there. I'll zoom in on it so you guys can see what's going on. So I'm going to get one more piece in, and then I'm going to strap it to the ceiling. So I try to do maybe every 4 feet, unless there's a fitting or something, try to get it strapped up so that it's not just hanging there in the wind. So as you can see, that strap supports all that weight. So now it's just a matter of getting the tape sealed off on that joint, and then moving on to the next joint. I'll just run these the rest of the way down into the wall. Like I said, make sure you use something, some kind of spatula or something to make sure that this tape is stuck real good. I mean, it is made for ductwork, so it's going to stick well. Also, keep in mind that if these are in any way greasy, clean them before you put that tape on. Don't ask me how I know. Yeah, clean them first, because it's a pain in the neck after if you try to tape it and it doesn't work out. So clean them. A clean pipe is a happy pipe. As you can see, they kind of hold their own weight up there. I pre-cut these strips. It makes it easier than trying to wrap it around. And what you see I do, there's a self-adhesive backing on it. So I'll peel about half of that, and I'll just send it over the top. Line it up, and it just makes it a little easier to to get these things taped up. And then as you come around, you just keep peeling it, stick it as you go. And it's just a matter of smoothing it out again. As you can see, there's really not a whole mess of weight on this. I got 6 feet of ductwork, and after it's taped, it's sitting pretty much perfectly straight. So you don't have to worry too much about there being, as you go, you can do this as a one-person job. I've done all of this as a one-person job, so I don't think you'll have any issues. If I can do it, you can do it. Okay, so I just wanted to show you what we've accomplished so far. If you remember, that Y right there is where I had ended. So I ran 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 sections, so that's 10 feet of ductwork, and it's taken me maybe 20 minutes. So this isn't really difficult stuff to do, and that's including hanging it, suspending it from the ceiling and all of that. But I just want to bring you over to the bench and show you a little bit about how this stuff goes together. Now if you notice here, this end, this is my last piece of 6-inch, so I'm going to switch to 4 after this. Basically, mostly because I don't want to run back to the store and pick up more 6-inch. But anyway, this will slide into that next piece. This will be the end here. So this reducer, now optimally, I would have liked to have had a 6-inch to 4-inch reducer, but they didn't have them. So I started crimping this one, but then I said, you know what, let me show them what you do first. So this will not fit inside that pipe. So basically what you have to do is you have to have a crimping tool, which is exactly what, there it is, what this is. Okay, so if you look at it there's 3 tines on one side, and if I flip it over, there's only 2. So what those do is as you squeeze, it'll make a crimp. So if I put this on here, like this, it's hard to do with one hand, and just give it a squeeze, you'll notice now there's a crimp. So it's kind of hard to crimp the seam, but see there's no crimp there on that side. So once I squeeze this, now there's a crimp. And what that does is if you go around the entire thing, it reduces the diameter of this so that you could actually insert it into the other end. So I'm going to do that with this, and then I had a 5 to 4 inch. So unfortunately I had to buy 2 of these because they didn't have any more 6 to 4 inch. That's usually the way it goes when I go to Home Depot or Lowe's. They never have what I'm looking for. But I'm going to reduce this down to 4 inch, and then I'm going to continue it up on the wall there from 4 inch down to the wall, down the wall rather, so I can connect the bandsaw. Now over here, I'm not too concerned about it again because whatever I connect over at this side is going to be really low dust creating. So I'll be hooking up the bandsaw. I'm probably going to get another one eventually that can handle resawing a little better. I think the peak on that is maybe 6 inches of resaw capacity, which is not enough. So I'll probably go with Grizzly just because of the cost. I'd love to go with something a little different. I like the Laguna saws, and I really like the Powermatic, but the price range is just, not going to happen. So anyway, I got off track. Whatever goes in this corner is going to be low dust creating. Low dust meaning 4 inch can definitely handle it. So I'll get one more section of 6 inch up there. It'll reduce. I'll run probably looks like 1.5 sections of 4 inch, and then it's going to come right down that wall in that little cavity there next to that cabinet. And then I'll just cap it off at the bottom until I decide to hook it up to this stuff. I have a few more fittings coming in the mail from Amazon, so when those get here next week, not everything is Prime eligible, unfortunately, so some stuff I had to wait a little longer for. As soon as the rest of that stuff comes in, I will have the rest of this all connected. But my main tools, the stuff that I need to start finishing up my kitchen cabinets, should be all plumbed and done today. So I'm going to go over to the table. I'll finish putting this together. I'll fabricate and tape and do all of that stuff on the bench. It's just a little easier on the floor. And then I'll put that up on the ceiling there. So I'm going to put that together, and then I'll show you as I mount it up on the wall. Hi, buddy.
What actually is because I wanted to now I don't know if I have enough time.
You have enough time.
So do you want me to do school?
Sure.
What?
Sure.
Do you want me to?
Yep.
Okay.
As you can see on here, the wrinkles don't matter too much.
What?
I'm on video.
Oh.
So, it's my little guy. He's not used to me doing the videotaping thing yet. So, as you can see, the wrinkles don't matter. That's why these, you know, a metal scraper, if you're going to use metal, just be careful because it'll cut the tape up. Or plastic scraper. Just squeegee out the air bubbles and make a good seal around it. And I mean, nothing's going to be 100% perfect, but if you can get this this ductwork to where it's basically one solid piece all the way and reduce any air leaks, you have to figure, I say this all the time with building houses, like if you don't have good insulation in certain areas, same as this, if you don't seal it up, if you don't seal up a house, it's kind of like having, even if it's just a little crack, you know, a little crack like that, if you do that on every single joint, you have a little crack. There's 30 joints, it's like having another hole right here, this big, just letting air, losing that suction. So you want to try to be efficient with these. Get these things sealed up. Same as in a house, seal your houses up. If you don't seal your house up, it's like opening the window through the entire winter. So just make sure things are sealed up and you'll be much better. And I just take that same philosophy over to the ductwork. Whether I'm right or wrong, I have no idea. It sounds good though, right? So, I mean, I'm sure there's people who are much more educated than me. Bill Pence comes to mind. Check his site out if you're really into the technical stuff. I talk about on my blog paralysis by analysis. If you suffer from that, do not go on his website. It is overwhelming. It is way more information than I think anybody really needs. It's cool and interesting, but be careful. That website actually stopped me from doing this for probably a good year. So now I'm just tackling it. Figured I'd get it all done, get the shop completely set up, and that's pretty much it. But again, with your ductwork, make sure everything is sealed up well, and I'm assuming it's going to be much more efficient that way. So let's install this up on the ceiling, and then we'll figure out how much more I need of 4-inch out of this end, and then we'll drop it down the wall from there. So, as you can see, I had to put like a small piece on here. That's about, I don't know, 6-inch piece that I had to add on here because it was a little short, and I want the elbow to be tight against this wall so I could attach it to something. I don't want it kind of flopping in this cavity here. I don't want it just to hang freely. So I'm going to put this up. I'll do one more strap to the ceiling, and then I'll figure it out from there. We'll figure out what we're going to do over here to attach it to the wall. Well, I think before I take it, I'm going to suspend it from the ceiling because it's hanging a bit. And then it looks like I have enough space here for maybe a 2x4. So I'll shoot a 2x4 to that wall to strap the vertical piece to. Okay, now that that's strapped to the ceiling, it's suspended there. Now I can take this one seam up. As you can see here, I don't know if you can see. I'll show you a close-up later. But as you can see here, I used 2 elbows to get a little less of a hard 90-degree angle going through. So I'll just tape up this last seam.
We're looking at the
And then after this, everything I have left to put up is just the verticals that come down. So it should be nice, easy work the rest of the day. No more up the ladder and down the ladder, and up the ladder and down the ladder. Oh, it's not this ladder. Okay. I forgot to scrape this up. Just get that nice and clean. I'm going to shoot a 2x4 to the wall here that goes down. Something that I could strap the ductwork to, because as you can see, she kind of swings a bit there, which there's nothing wrong with that. She's, you know, still tight, but I just want to make sure that this end is strapped tight, because I'm going to be connecting, you know, flex hoses and stuff like that to it, and I may need to, you know, on and off, on and off, on and off. Eventually, I guess, in theory, you could start breaking seams and stuff like that. So I just want to make sure that it's all nice and tight and it's permanent, and I'm not going to have to come up here to redo anything. So I have some scrap 2x4 that I'm going to be using here, and I have my ram set, which hopefully fits in between the cabinet here. It may not. I may be shooting it on an angle. I don't like that. But it is what it is. So, out here. That figures too. Okay, now that's enough to hold that. And then what I'll do is I'll run the next ductwork right into it, and I can strap it right to that 2x4 coming down the wall. So again, all of this is painted and ready to go. I'm going to have to cut in around a lot of the other stuff. But as far as this goes, we're in pretty good shape. So I'm going to drop the dust port right to about here, and then I'm just going to put a cap on it for now. And then in the future, I can take that cap off and I can run whatever flex hose I want to it. So set yourself up if you're doing dust collection for future expansion so that it's easy. Same thing that I did over there. I put three Ys in the ceiling to drop them to do vertical runs, so that in the future I could put whatever I want over there. Set yourself up in advance. Put a little extra thinking into it, and plan out your shop so that, you know, when it comes to a shop, it's constantly evolving. So set yourself up so you're not taking things out and throwing them away. I speak from experience. Set it up so that in the future you can modify things rather than having to scrap things. So I pre-assembled 2 pieces here and I put a cap in the bottom there, little drum cap. So now I can just take these 2 pieces, set myself up here. Let's see, I'll just slide together. And then it'll just be a matter of taping this and just strapping that to the wall. It's nice and easy, just like that. So, depending on how far away from the wall you are, you can change that 2x4 plywood, depending. I probably should have used 3/4 inch plywood there, but to make it work. So I'll just tape that top seam together, nice and easy. Just push it together. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is that. I'll just cut that off and we're wrapped up with this side.